Ladies and gentlemen, let me hit you with some truth right out of the gate. Comparison is the thief of destiny. You were never designed to be a copy of someone else. You were created with a unique assignment, a purpose so specific that nobody else on this planet, past, present, or future, can fulfill it the way you can. Yet too many people waste their time looking at what somebody else has, measuring their progress against someone else's journey, and wondering why they don't have the same results. Comparison is a silent thief that robs people of their destiny before they even realize what's happening. It creeps in unnoticed, disguising itself as motivation, as inspiration, as a harmless glance at someone else's success. But what starts as admiration quickly turns into self-doubt. You see someone achieving more, moving faster, or getting the results you want, and suddenly your own progress feels small, your effort feels insignificant, and your journey feels delayed. You start asking, why not me? Why am I not where they are? And just like that, the seed of doubt is planted, and if you're not careful, it will grow into a stronghold that keeps you from ever moving forward. When you compare yourself to others, you stop appreciating your own unique gifts. You start diminishing what makes you special in an attempt to measure up to someone else's standard. The problem with that is simple. You were never meant to fit into someone else's blueprint. Your gifts, your calling, your journey are uniquely designed for you. The moment you start wishing for someone else's position, someone else's success, or someone else's abilities, you are telling yourself that what you have isn't enough. And the more you do that, the further you drift from the purpose you were created to fulfill. Comparison also leads to distraction. Instead of focusing on your own growth, your own progress, and your own goals, you waste time watching someone else's journey. You spend hours scrolling, observing, analyzing, and before you know it, you've lost valuable time that could have been spent building, improving, and mastering your own craft. Every minute spent wishing for another person's success is a minute stolen from creating your own. The people you admire didn't get where they are by watching others. They got there by doing the work. And if you're serious about reaching your destiny, you must learn to shift your focus back to your own assignment. Not only does comparison steal your focus, but it also drains your confidence. When you measure your progress against someone else's, you will always find reasons to feel inadequate. There will always be someone who seems to be doing better, achieving more, moving faster, but what you don't see is their full story. You don't see their struggles, their sacrifices, their failures. You only see the highlights, the polished version, the results, not the process. And when you compare your behind the scenes to someone else's finished product, you set yourself up for frustration, discouragement, and ultimately inaction. The truth is, your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. The timing of your success will not match theirs. The way you grow, the way you evolve, the way you reach your goals, it will be different because you are different. And that's not a weakness, it's a strength. Your uniqueness is your advantage. The skills and experiences that set you apart are the very things that will lead to your greatest breakthrough. But if you're too busy trying to mold yourself into someone else's version of success, you will never fully unlock the potential that is already inside you. Comparison also breeds unnecessary competition. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you begin to see them as threats rather than potential collaborators, mentors, or inspirations. You start measuring your success based on whether you're doing better or falling behind, rather than whether you're actually making progress toward your own goals. This kind of thinking keeps you stuck in a cycle of competition that serves no purpose. True success is not about being better than someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And when you focus on that, you realize that no one else can take what is meant for you. Another way comparison robs people of their destiny is by causing them to settle. When you constantly look at others for validation, you may begin to adjust your dreams to fit what is realistic based on what others have achieved. You might convince yourself that certain levels of success are not for you because you don't see people like you reaching them. Instead of breaking barriers, you accept limits. Instead of striving for more, you shrink your vision. And the saddest part is, you'll never know what could have been possible if you had just stayed focused on your own potential rather than letting someone else's reality dictate your own. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others is the moment you step into your true power. When you finally decide that your journey is worth pursuing without distraction, without doubt, and without competition, you become unstoppable. The thief of comparison loses its grip the second you realize that your destiny is too valuable to waste chasing someone else's. You were not born by accident, and you are not here just to exist. You were created with a unique assignment, something only you can fulfill, something designed specifically for you before you even took your first breath. Every talent you possess, every experience you have gone through, every challenge you have faced, all of it has been preparing you for the purpose you were meant to walk in. But too many people go through life unaware of this truth, living as if they are just another face in the crowd, as if they have nothing special to offer. That is the biggest lie you could ever believe, because the moment you recognize that your life carries a specific mission, everything changes. No one else has the exact combination of gifts, strengths, and perspectives that you do. Even if someone has a similar talent, they cannot express it in the exact way you can. Even if someone has walked a path that resembles yours, they will never have your precise experiences, your voice, your ability to impact the world in the way that only you can. This is what makes your assignment unique. It is tailor-made for you, but if you do not recognize it, you risk walking through life aimlessly, chasing goals that were never meant for you, comparing yourself to others instead of developing what is already within you. When you embrace the fact that you were created with a unique assignment, you stop trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You stop forcing yourself to be like someone else because you realize that imitation will never lead to fulfillment. You can spend your whole life trying to be a copy of someone else and still feel empty inside, because deep down, your spirit knows that it was designed for something greater, something original, something personal, something powerful. The only way to truly step into that power is to own the assignment that has been placed on your life. But recognizing your assignment is not enough. You have to cultivate it, develop it, and commit to it. Too many people know deep down that they were meant for more, yet they never act on it. They let fear hold them back. They let doubt creep in. They convince themselves that they are not qualified, that they do not have what it takes, that maybe they were mistaken about their purpose. But your assignment is not based on your comfort level. It is not based on how easy the journey will be. It is based on what you were uniquely created to do, and it will require you to grow into the person capable of carrying it out. The truth is, fulfilling your assignment will not always be easy. It will stretch you. It will challenge you. It will force you to step out of your comfort zone and do things that scare you, but that is exactly how you will grow. You were never meant to stay the same. You were never meant to live an average, uninspired life. If you feel restless, if you feel like something inside of you is being called to more, that is because your assignment is too big for you to stay where you are. The longer you ignore it, the louder it will call and the more uncomfortable you will feel until you finally surrender to the process of becoming who you were meant to be. You do not need anyone's permission to walk in your assignment. You do not need the approval of people who do not understand your vision. Your assignment was given to you, not to them. So stop waiting for validation. Stop holding yourself back because you are afraid of what others might say. The only thing worse than people doubting you is you doubting yourself. You cannot afford to waste time worrying about opinions that have no power over your destiny. You have been equipped with everything you need to step into your purpose, but it is up to you to take the first step. Your assignment is bigger than just you. It is not just about what you can achieve, but about the impact you can have on others. There are people who need what you carry. There are lives that will be changed because you had the courage to step into your purpose. But if you do not take action, if you let fear keep you stagnant, those people will miss out on the gift you were meant to bring into the world. This is why you cannot afford to play small. Your purpose is too important, your assignment is too valuable, and your time is too precious to waste. You are created with intention. Every part of your being was designed with purpose. The way you think, the way you see the world, the way you solve problems, none of it is random. The things that come naturally to you, the ideas that excite you, the dreams that will not leave you alone, those are clues to your assignment. Do not ignore them. Do not push them aside because they seem too big or too impossible. The very thing you were called to do is already within you, waiting to be unlocked. Comparison is one of the greatest traps that keep people from reaching their full potential. It convinces you that you are not enough, that you are behind, that your progress is too slow, and that your dreams are too far away. The more you look at what someone else has, the less you appreciate what you have. The more you focus on how far ahead someone else seems to be, the less motivated you feel to keep pushing forward in your own journey. Instead of growing, you start shrinking. Instead of stepping boldly into your purpose, you start second-guessing whether you were ever meant for it in the first place. The problem with comparison is that it shifts your focus from what you are capable of achieving to what you think you are lacking. It keeps you stuck because instead of recognizing your strengths, you become obsessed with your perceived weaknesses. Instead of sharpening your skills, you waste time measuring yourself against people who have a completely different path, background, and experience. You start playing small, not because you are incapable, but because you have convinced yourself that someone else is already doing it better, faster, or with more success. That kind of thinking is a recipe for mediocrity. When you compare yourself to others, you unknowingly put limits on your potential. You start setting goals based on what you see someone else achieving instead of reaching for the full vision placed inside of you. You downsize your dreams because you assume that if someone else is ahead, there must not be enough space for you to succeed as well. But the truth is, someone else's success does not take away from yours. There is no shortage of opportunities, no shortage of impact, no shortage of success. The only shortage exists in your mindset when you allow comparison to make you believe that your chances are limited. Comparison keeps you in a cycle of hesitation and inaction. Instead of boldly taking steps toward your purpose, you hesitate. You overanalyze. You procrastinate. You wait until you feel ready. But the reality is, you will never feel ready if you keep looking at others and convincing yourself that you don't measure up. The more time you spend watching someone else succeed, the less time you spend building your own success. Eventually, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, years where you could have been growing, evolving, and walking fully in your potential, but instead, you stayed stuck, waiting for a sense of confidence that never came. Playing small becomes a habit when comparison takes over. You stop taking risks. You settle for good enough instead of striving for excellence. You hold yourself back from opportunities because you assume someone else is more qualified or more deserving. You downplay your gifts, ignoring the fact that you were created with something special to offer the world. But the truth is, the world doesn't need a watered-down version of you. It doesn't need you to shrink yourself just because you think someone else is doing it better. The world needs you to show up fully, unapologetically, and confidently in your unique purpose. Comparison also steals your joy. Even when you do achieve something great, instead of celebrating, you immediately look to see if someone else has done more. You never feel satisfied, never feel accomplished, never feel like you are truly winning because you are too focused on someone else's scoreboard. This is how comparison keeps you small. It makes you feel like nothing you do is ever enough, no matter how much progress you make. And when you don't feel like you are enough, you stop trying. You start settling for an average life when you were meant for an extraordinary one. One of the most dangerous effects of comparison is that it makes you forget how far you have already come. You become so focused on who is ahead of you that you ignore the progress you have already made. You forget about the obstacles you've overcome, the lessons you have learned, and the growth you have experienced. Instead of acknowledging your journey, you discount it. Instead of being proud of your progress, you diminish it. And when you fail to recognize your own growth, you rob yourself of the motivation and confidence you need to keep moving forward. Comparison is a trap that will keep you stuck in a life that is far smaller than the one you were meant to live. It will keep you watching instead of doing, doubting instead of believing, hesitating instead of acting. It will make you feel like you are always behind, always lacking, always one step away from where you want to be. But the reality is, the only thing holding you back is your own mindset. Your value is not determined by what others think of you, what they say about you, or how they measure your worth. Too many people go through life seeking approval, waiting for validation, and hoping that someone else will confirm what they should already know, that they are worthy, that they are enough, that they have something valuable to offer. But the moment you place your value in the hands of others, you give them control over your confidence, your direction, and your sense of purpose. You start living according to their opinions instead of standing firm in your own identity. When you let other people define your worth, you become a prisoner to their expectations. You start making decisions based on what will make them happy instead of what aligns with your purpose. You hold yourself back from opportunities because you are afraid of what they might say. You shrink your dreams because you worry about whether they will approve. But the problem with trying to please others is that no matter what you do, there will always be someone who thinks you are not good enough, not talented enough, or not worthy of success. If you spend your life chasing their approval, you will never truly be free to step into your calling. The truth is, your value was determined long before anyone had an opinion about you. It is not based on your popularity, your status, or the number of people who believe in you. It is not something that can be increased by compliments or decreased by criticism. Your value is intrinsic. It is built into who you are. Nothing you achieve will make you more worthy, and nothing you fail at will make you less worthy. You were created with purpose, and that purpose is not dependent on human validation. People will always have opinions, but their opinions do not define your destiny. Some will cheer for you and some will doubt you. Some will support you and some will criticize you. But none of that changes the truth of who you are and what you were designed to accomplish. The danger comes when you start internalizing their words, allowing their perspectives to shape your self-worth. The moment you believe their negativity, you begin to operate beneath your potential. You start questioning yourself, second-guessing your gifts, and hesitating to take action. But your purpose is too important to let the opinions of others dictate your path. Too many people waste years of their lives trying to prove themselves to people who will never be satisfied.